Hello, my name is Charlene Brenner, and my colleague Jennifer Diaz and I developed the survey studies described in this poster as part of our post-professional doctorate program at American International College. One study explored occupational therapist perceptions of skills needed for school-based practice. The other explored teachers' perceptions of the role of occupational therapy within their district. The need for effective communication and collaboration was a common theme that emerged from both surveys. With new educational initiatives such as Common Core standards, tier interventions, and school-wide programs to improve safety and mental health, occupational therapists need to be prepared to address a wide range of needs in school-based practice. It is critical that practitioners entering school-based practice feel prepared to administer a variety of interventions and feel confident in communicating to teachers and other school personnel the value and range of services that occupational therapy practitioners have to offer. Currently, there is limited research concerning the perceptions of teachers and some of the challenges they face when supporting students in their classrooms. Through continued research, occupational therapy practitioners need to advocate for our role and bring awareness to our profession within the school environment. According to the Occupational Therapy Association, a child's occupations include, but are not limited to, education, play, leisure, and social participation. Therefore, it is important to have effective collaboration between occupational therapy practitioners and teachers to ensure these areas are being addressed. According to the U.S. Department of Education, both students with and students without disabilities must be placed in the same setting to the maximum extent that is appropriate for the learner. The Individuals with Disabilities Act requires that school children be educated in the least restrictive environment. This means that students with disabilities should be educated with their non-disabled peers with additional supports in place. Despite these regulations, a high percentage of teachers surveyed indicated that they perceived the most effective service delivery model in providing occupational therapy services to their students was through a direct service or pull-out model. Occupational therapy practitioners need to educate teachers on the benefits of occupational therapy delivered in the classroom setting. This will also aid the teacher by creating teachable moments through observation and modeling provided by the therapist. The topic of handwriting has been long debated in the school setting. The results of the teacher survey rate handwriting as the top intervention that teachers perceive occupational therapy practitioners to provide. Although the evidence is clear that teachers rate handwriting as the top intervention, only 30% of classroom teachers indicated that they provide formalized handwriting instruction to their students always or most of the time. Conversely, occupational therapy practitioners do not rate handwriting as the most common intervention, but rather the underlying fine motor and visual motor interventions that often occur in school-based practice. It is evident through the survey results that this is an area that should be addressed collaboratively between teachers and occupational therapy practitioners to establish an efficient way of addressing this skill area. Another area highlighted in the teacher study was the level of coursework teachers receive as part of their college education degree requirements. Only 25% of general education and special education teachers receive training in the area of occupational therapy. However, 75% of teachers reported that they were aware of an occupational therapy practitioner's scope of practice. Teachers were able to identify handwriting, fine motor skills, sensory integration, organization, assistive technology, activities of daily living, and behavior management as areas a therapist might address in the school setting. Teachers did not indicate play, leisure, or social participation as areas they believed an occupational therapy practitioner would address within the school environment. Since the No Child Left Behind Act went into effect in 2001, high-stakes testing and time on learning has left little time in the school day for focus on skills such as play, leisure, and social participation. One way occupational therapy practitioners might consider addressing these areas would be by providing services in non-traditional school environments such as in the cafeteria, on the playground, or in the gym. Therapists and teachers might also want to consider addressing play, leisure, and social participation by having the occupational therapy practitioner attend field trips or outings with their students. 3 major themes were evident in the occupational therapy practitioner survey. They were finding time to meet with teachers, teacher willingness, flexibility, and interest, and working to develop the relationship. Responses indicated that lack of time was the biggest factor contributing to the effectiveness of communication between therapists and teachers. Practitioners indicated they did not have enough time in their day to have quality time to speak with teachers. Schedule constraints were also mentioned, and practitioners indicated that it was difficult to find common time to meet with teachers. Many respondents indicated that effective communication depends on the specific teacher that they are interacting with. Responses included statements such as, depends on the teacher's willingness, some teachers respect OTs and some do not, and some teachers are more open to collaborating than others. Another common theme mentioned by practitioners was that the therapist has to work to develop the relationship with the teachers with whom they are working. Therapists mentioned tasks such as completing weekly check-ins and planning meetings with teachers, running response to intervention groups, being available to teachers, and working to build rapport, all as factors that aid in communication. It was also evident that communication varied by setting or grade level. The majority of practitioners responded that there was a difference in communication at various grade levels. Respondents indicated that in the middle school and high school, communication was difficult due to students having multiple teachers and less flexibility with their schedule. Responses included statements such as, I don't think middle and high school teachers have a good understanding of OT in schools. It is very difficult to get high school teachers to communicate, and there seems to be less time to communicate with teachers the older the student gets. The exception to this was therapists who provided service in self-contained life skills classrooms where there is ongoing communication between the teacher and occupational therapist. According to the teacher survey results, many teachers wished that the occupational therapy practitioner had more time to spend in their classrooms. They indicated a want for the occupational therapy practitioner to come to their classrooms to conduct yoga, sensory motor activities, or organizational work. One way to bring awareness to the role of occupational therapy in schools and improve communication could be for occupational therapy practitioners to present at school district professional development days. Clearly, the results of the surveys indicate a want and need for improved communication and collaboration. Hopefully, these surveys can serve as a starting point for experienced practitioners to think about creative ways to improve these areas in their own districts, and for new graduates to seek out ways to develop these skills.